Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Inside the U live postgame show where the Miami Hurricanes lost 2-1 to Mississippi in the Coral Gables Regional. They will play Arizona in about 1 hour. We're definitely going to talk about the starting pitching, about who's going to start that next game. There's a lot to get into with that because it is it's an elimination game against Arizona there. We will definitely, as soon as I get the exact time, I will let you know. It's 55 minutes after the end of the first game. That's going to put it at 7:45 roughly. We will not get coach or players right now, so this post-game show will be a quick one. We'll talk for a little bit as coach and players are getting ready for the next game, but we will do a live post-game show after the next game. Let's talk about this one. Miami falls 2-1 to Mississippi, 1 run on 4 hits. Ole Miss gets two runs and 5 hits. Carson Palmquist was lights out. He did a great job. 5 2/3 innings. He strikes out 10, in scoreless innings, and he had done really well. Only allowed the 2 hits, 4 walks, was able to work around, but his fastball was good, and we will get right into the highlights. But I thought he also did a good job mixing in his off-speed pitches. I thought he kept guys off balance throughout the game. Miami gets a runner on base there. Zach Levinson had struck out his first 3 at-bats, but he doubles to left field with 1 out in the 9th inning, going against Ole Miss's closer. A couple of freshmen have opportunities at-bat with Gabby Gutierrez and Dorian Gonzalez Jr., who both strike out. Gonzalez strikes out looking to end the game. So Miami loses 2-1. They drop to 40-19 on the season. They will bounce back in 1 hour here for an elimination game against Arizona, who lost 7-4 to Ole Miss on Saturday, and then they beat Canisius earlier today, 7-5, to set up an elimination game. And whoever wins this game will face Mississippi on Monday, and they'll have to win twice against Mississippi to move on to the Super Regional. Disappointing that Miami was not able to hold on, so Miami gets a sacrifice fly from Jacob Burke in the 6th inning. They finally break a scoreless tie. Hunter Elliott was on top of his game. Miami's unable to hold on. It's disappointing. It definitely is. But if you go into a game and you only allow 2 runs, you will certainly take that. You will certainly take that. Carson Palmquist was, like I said, very good. Alex McFarland gives up a 2-run double to Tim Elko, who had a good game. And he's had a good season. This isn't just a regular hitter. He's been good. He gets that there in the 7th inning. You see Coach coming out here to take out Palmquist and just couldn't get through the 6th. Palmquist throws 93 pitches on the day. And McFarland there, he started off strong. He got into this bases loaded jam right here, and then it gets this nice ground out, a really good flip by Patelli to Gonzalez there, and to get out of the bases loaded jam, and that's certainly what you're looking for McFarland. And this is where he kind of ran into some trouble. He gives up a couple of 2-out hits, and then this double right here puts Ole Miss on top, 2-1. But definitely shout out to everybody that's in here. Matt, 904 Hurricane, you guys are here. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Let me know about this next game. As soon as we watch the highlights here, we will get right into the next game. And if lineups come out while we're talking, I will definitely post those here. I will relay those to you guys. Once again, no Coach Damari, no players. They're getting ready for the next game. And yeah, that's that double by Levinson, came up big. But Miami that's the story of the game. They're only able to get 4 hits. Just couldn't get it going early on. They had bases loaded in the 1st inning there. That ends the game looking. So let's talk about next game here. Miami's going to play Arizona. First, I want to take a look at the bullpen tracker. What does it look like for Miami going against Arizona? And considering how things went there on Saturday with Carson Ligon only able to start and go 1 1/3 innings, and you saw 5 relievers come in there and pitch. It actually worked out pretty well. I know McFarland, if we're talking about big picture, yes, he gave up the run. He takes the loss, the go-ahead double there. But he finishes off. He throws 60 pitches. Miami didn't have to use any other bullpen guys today. I feel like all of the other guys on the list, I think they're all going to be available. I thought it was good that McFarland was able to finish off the game. They just couldn't get enough hits in this one. But I think Miami's going to have this. Certainly McFarland will be out the rest of the regional after throwing 60 pitches today, so he'll be done. But other than that, these are the guys they have available. The ones not on here they did not make the regional roster. But I do think Miami's in a pretty good spot. They're going to have to change their uniforms. They're going to get through this game. They're going to have to get ready quickly. Arizona, they won earlier today. They had the 11 o'clock game. So they've had time to get over this a little bit with a win, and you got to bounce back from this loss. The season's on the line for the Hurricanes in this second game. And just kind of up and down the lineup, I think it was disappointing. Yo-Yo Morales wasn't able to kind of carry over that momentum that he had the day before. He had an opportunity there in the 8th inning with 1 out, and he strikes out. He goes 0 for 3. He does walk. He did score the run, and that was good. He led off the 6th with the walk. And I think that was the story of the game. In addition to not enough hits, clearly, Miami didn't do great once they got the leadoff batter on base, and I thought things could break for them, but eventually it just never did. As we look at the comparison stats here, these are always good to check out. Very similar. Ole Miss only had 5 hits, so it's not like they were doing anything great there, but they got the big hit when they needed. But if you look runners on base, Miami 1 of 16. Certainly you got to get more hits there. The 2 out RBIs, and that was the telling point in the game. Leadoff. Yeah, Miami got the leadoff runner on base 5 of the 9 innings. That's certainly what you want to do. They did so in the first 4 innings, but came up empty, couldn't get a run across there. The 5th time they did it was in the 6th inning when Morales walked and they brought him home to score. But we will see. This is a young team. They're not used to playing, and that's what we saw there in the 9th inning with Gutierrez and Gonzalez in tough spots there to try to get the game-winning RBI or the game-tying RBI with Levinson after he got his double. Jacoby Long came into pinch run, and he was stranded there on second base. Let's take a look at the next game in terms of the starting pitcher. Once again, lineups are not out. But Miami has a couple options at starting pitcher. And this is where I feel like we've all been wondering what was going to happen with this third game in the regional, regardless if they went 1-1 or 2-0, or certainly if they got to a game 3 in a regional. This is what we've been seeing and what we've been talking about all season long during the regular season. What would they do with Rosario in particular? He had been slotted in that number 3 spot in the rotation, but he had been struggling. You see the high ERA. If you're looking for, maybe looking for some positivity, Rosario was great last year in the regional. He did a really good job. And maybe they'll go that route. Jake Garland's been in the number 4 spot. He's a guy that's been a captain. He's been pitching midweek games most of the season. Will they go with Garland? Garland, conversely, he struggled last year in the regional. Will that come into play? Rosario's performance was 6 1/3 innings against South Alabama last year. He allowed 4 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 5. No runs. Again, neither of these guys pitched well in the ACC tournament. There's a lot to decide with this. I'm very curious to see what Gina is going to do. He's talked about his confidence in Rosario. We will see how it plays out. With them both being right-handed pitchers, although they have different styles, it does make the decision even tougher because if For example, they're going to face Arizona. If Arizona is stronger left-handed or right-handed batter, it's easy to kind of, if there's a toss-up, it's easier to go with a different guy if it's a lefty-righty, but both guys are right-handed pitchers. Rosario, the hard-throwing righty, when he's on top of his game, can kind of go moving inside and outside. Garland is at his best, does not have that velocity, but his thing is keep the ball down. Does not have the strikeout numbers that Rosario has, but Garland keeps the ball down. He's looking for ground balls. Diving into more of their numbers this year, Miami is 8-3 this year when Rosario starts games. They're 8-4 when Garland starts. Looking at the strikeout numbers, it is surprising, even though Rosario's got the bigger arm, the bigger velocity, his strikeouts per 9 innings are actually really close to Garland. 7.6 for Rosario, Garland 7.4. And then the walks, that's the big difference. And that's where things get out of hand for Rosario. He's 3.6 walks per 9 innings compared to Garland at 1.5. And then the hit by pitches again, Rosario has 12, Garland 6, so twice as many there, twice as many wild pitches. So he's been more erratic, and that's why you're seeing the high ERA number. Let me know what you guys think. Who should Miami start as Miami faces elimination against Arizona? This is what it's come down to. This is where we're at right now. It's one of these two guys. I will say what will be interesting also is what will Miami do if one of these guys struggle? Will the other one go in and then they'll just figure out Monday on Monday? Or will they go back to that bullpen, like I said earlier, about go with their typical bullpen guys? I could see both of these guys being ready. I could also see these guys maybe trying to get you 3 or 4 innings and not try to get too much out of them. You know, just based on numbers and matchups. Maybe if you could just get that much and then move forward. And obviously, anytime you're in a regional with pitching, you're hoping your hitters come through and get you a big lead and certainly stay out in front, saves you some pitchers. R. Smith, what's going on? Glad you're here. John's here as well. Shout out to you guys. And as always, Matt's here. I want to check the, see if the lineups have been posted yet. It's going to take a while. Sometimes they'll do that. It will take some time, I think, to write the lineups there. So I'm going to check that. Also, if they've got the graphic that they're going to post, they're going to announce on a starting pitcher. They've not posted anything. And they are saying a 7:50 start. So it's not the 7:45 I was thinking. So it's going to be a little later. So 7:50 p.m. is the start time there. Let's take a look a little bit what's going on around college baseball. I know you guys were talking about it. I think you heard on the broadcast. We could just show you this. I know you guys are big fans of college baseball if you're in here. This game with Oklahoma State and Missouri State. I want to show you this game here. Oklahoma State won.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.
They won 29-5, 29-15. Oklahoma State, the 7 national seed. Oklahoma State trailed. You see it here. They trailed 12-0 in the 3rd inning, and they came back and won 29-15. College baseball, you're never out of it. Really impressive to see that. Kind of looking at some other scores. I do want to show you guys the Hattiesburg Regional. If Miami or whoever wins the Coral Gables Regional faces the winner of the Hattiesburg Regional, and Southern Miss is the host there, and they won in 10 innings. They came from behind there against Kennesaw State. So they're going to play LSU. And Southern Miss already has 1 loss. They're going to play LSU tonight. They have a 7 o'clock listed start. They should be get going anytime soon here. The Coral Gables Regional obviously delayed a little. They're going to finish up tomorrow. Some teams will clinch their berth into the Super Regionals tonight with these games going on. If you go 3-0, you move on. Or if you lose one, you have to win on Monday there for the other regionals. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get ready. I don't see the things posted yet. But yeah, we're going to do this again. Post-game show after tonight's game. It's going to be the typical post-game show with interviews from Coach. I just want to pop on here, show you guys a little bit about the starting pitcher situation and what could go on there. But we will come back. New link. Definitely check that out on the channel. It won't be this one. We'll run it back with the new link. We'll get the game thread. We'll talk all about the game. It's going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays out. Miami facing elimination against Arizona. Will they go Garland or Rosario? But like I said, Miami does have options out of the bullpen. Guys pitched yesterday. We will see how they bounce back. Arizona lost 7-4 to Ole Miss on Saturday. They beat Canisius 7-5 earlier today. They're 38-24. They're the 2 seed in this regional. Miami's the 1 seed. Miami 40-19. I want to thank everybody for jumping in here real quick, and we'll talk to you guys soon, very soon.